Hi, Mackenzie and Steve and whoever else might be watching this video. I wanted to send this introductory video to explain the site and what I've done and what still needs to happen and all that. Obviously, the email I sent earlier today, wondering if I can get my permission level up to notch because I need to do certain things like assign memberships to donations, and I can't do that currently. I'm wondering if you guys can talk to whoever your contact is within Nation Builder and ask for them to enable the annual recurring beta on your nation so that we can run memberships through that. And then also, if you guys have any background images, that would be useful for the site. Right now, I've just got like a placeholder, as you can see here. Other than that, everything up here in this blue bar and the white bar is pretty self-explanatory. This hero section is actually a slider. So if you were to have multiple featured content sliders on the home page, so if we click the edit next to home, and then click featured content sliders, I obviously have this one in right now. So we see that the headline is that. Then there's a vertical bar pipe symbol. You'll find that, I think, on the right side of your keyboard, depending on if you're on Mac or Windows. And then we have the button text. So we see that that's all reflected here. And we have the subheadline, and then the page that the button links to, which I just put as the mission page for now, and then the image. So that's how you would create either this one or multiple sort of featured content sliders at the top hero section here. Then we've got this introductory section. So if we go back to the home page, click its subpages, we see that the block intro is this block. So that headline, it's going to be the headline. Again, we have the button text, a vertical bar pipe symbol, and then the slug of the page that the button links to. And then if we click social media, we see all this other text right here. So that's the introductory section there. Again, if we go back to home, we're going to land on its subpages. If we look at block intro, or sorry, not block intro, block featured, we're going to again see the same pattern as the previous block: headline, button text, vertical bar pipe symbol, slug that the button links to, and then social media is going to be the other text. And then in the content section, you can put an image by uploading an image from the toolbar, or you can actually put a YouTube video URL and feature that video here as well. This featured is hard-coded, so can't change that unless I went to the code and changed it. So in between these two blocks is what you wanted for the upcoming meeting notice. So what I'm just going to have you do for that is the home page's contents. I'm actually going to disable the sidebar right now, but the home page's content will show up in between these two blocks, and you can basically put information there for an upcoming meeting just using the content WYSIWYG editor. So pretty straightforward there. That'll show up once you put some content in. Then we obviously have the social media feeds here. And then, okay, so you guys weren't currently using the Nation Builder events on your old site. And so for the past events and whatnot, you'll see that I just basically cloned the old pages. But for the new events page, I'm hoping you guys can use the Nation Builder calendar. And what will happen is if you go into the calendar here, so by the way, we have the top level events nav redirect, and then when you click its subpages, you can find its subpages. So the events page is the calendar, and then what you can do is go to events and subpages, make new events, follow all the prompts, and then the top three, I believe, or two, I can't remember, will show the top three events, or the most upcoming 2 or 3 events will show up in between these two blocks right here. So that's the events thing for the home page that you wanted. And then I just combined the second to last and third to last bullet points from the doc into join, blog, podcast. Obviously, we'll need images for those, but basically what can happen is if you go to the home page's subpages again, you click block cards, and then featured content sliders. All those are featured content sliders with a label, a page to link to, and an image. You don't have to worry about, in this particular case, the move to another page. So all you would have to do is edit the label, page to feature, and the image, and those will be reflected right here. And then obviously I've got the footer navigation here at the bottom. And then everything else also here at the bottom. If you wanted a little box with like special text or legal text or something, you could go to Site Settings, Footer, and then type like paid for by, or so whatever you guys have. It would show up in a little box right around here. Other than that, you can see everything we have in the footer. So that's about it. I have not included the contact page in the top nav, so it's included down here and the secondary nav up here. So on the About page, if we go to the Mission page, you gave me a mission, so I put that there. You didn't give me any images on leadership, so just this content, so I just put the content in. If you did end up wanting to do something a little bit more fancy for the leadership page, we have something called our alternate directory template. And basically it looks something like this, where it has the images, social media, etc. And then you can actually click these things and it goes to a little profile page. So obviously I didn't have the content to make that, but that's certainly doable in the future. And then the bylaws, I don't think I got any content for, so I didn't put any. Let me see. Yeah. The action page, we have the legislative positions page. So essentially what can happen here is you can go to the legislative positions, which is under the action top level page. That's right here. You can go to its content. You can put content in here for the critical bills, and that's obviously going to show up here. Then what I've done is keep this vertical line there, as it says, and all you have to do is create subpages of this page that are petition page types, and those will show up below this line automatically. You don't even have to do anything. So that's how that page is structured. So yeah, that's about it. If we go back to the action and we look, basically I created a sign up page, volunteer page, a request media page, and a donate page. Those are all pretty self-explanatory, so I won't show them in this video. The one thing I will show is the join page. So I just made this pretty simple membership level template, pretty similar to the old one, except it's stacked because it seemed to make the most sense design-wise with what I can do, but you can select any of these and go to the appropriate donation page. So that's about it. The endorsements. So for the endorsements, we have the current endorsements. I just cloned these from the old site. Also, I cloned the 2017 endorsements page from the old site, and then I cloned the slate from the old site. And then obviously in the top nav here, we have the past endorsements, which looks something like this. I think I cloned that as well. And then the request endorsements just redirects your existing form. So that's that. The events, like I said, is that new calendar format. I'm actually going to, so this will show up differently. Once you have events, this will be over here on the left and the events will be below it, and then potentially you'll have a map there. Let me enable the map and see if that changes. So I'll do a couple things right here. I'll actually pause the video while I do that. All right, so I'm back here, and so this stuff, the events will show up below this line down here. You'll also have, once you actually do have events, you'll have a map that shows up there. And then obviously people can filter this stuff themselves. So that's a pretty cool event template. Hopefully you can use that going forward. Like I said, any events you have here will show up on the home page, the most upcoming 2 or 3. The calendar is just a redirect to your existing calendar. The meetings is just a clone of your existing meetings page. And the past events is this template. So you can actually click, for example, 2009 events or 2018 events. You'll go to those past events, which I filtered for you already, but then you also have in the sidebar here the other events that you can go view. And then 2018 obviously has the most. So that's that. Yeah, that's it on the events tab. On the media tab, what I have, so I didn't make the legislative, or what are they called? They're called legislative op-eds, events, press releases. So I didn't make these tabs because I don't know if you want these to be basic page types in Nation Builder or blog page types, but I have formatted the main blog page to be very similar to the legislative positions page that I showed you. So essentially what you can do, and I'll actually kind of show you this here real quick, is you can go to the blog page. You can have content. I'm going to put a line here. So keep this line here just like on the legislative positions page. And then what you can do is you can create subpages, either basic page types or blog page types of the blog page. And essentially what will happen is you'll have the text here, and then you'll have excerpts of those subpages here, and you can click to each one as I showed you. And then I'll also actually add the tag layout sibling menu. And so that'll work like the past events page I just showed you, where you have a little sidebar on the right where you can go to its sibling pages. So that's what you'll do here. You can just create subpages of the blog page, and it'll show up automatically down here. And then for your, what did you write? The most recent write-up, you can put that in the content where I wrote content here. So you can highlight it right there. So that's that. The podcast will make that higher. Oops. The podcast is just cloned from the other podcast page, from the current podcast page. And then the photo gallery is just empty. And then the contact page, pretty simple stuff here. Just basic contact information and then a feedback page type. So that's it. That's what I have from you and what I've been able to make. That's about it. So I will shoot this over to you now.